FIFA completely rewrote the playbook for the 2026 World Cup, transforming it from a global spectacle into an entirely new beast designed to shatter every record and redefine football itself. This isn't just an expanded tournament, it's a seismic shift, a strategic gamble by FIFA that impacts everything from player careers and national team ambitions to host city infrastructure and the very soul of the beautiful game. What we're witnessing is the birth of a new era, an unprecedented experiment in scale and inclusion that will either elevate football to unimaginable heights or expose the fault lines in its global foundation. Get ready, because the World Cup you thought you knew is gone. The most glaring, immediate change, the one that kicks off this whole revolution, is the sheer scale. We're moving from the familiar 32-team format to a colossal 48 nations battling it out. Think about that for a second. 48 teams, all with a dream, all with a chance. This isn't just adding a few more games. It fundamentally alters the pathway to glory, opening doors for countries that once saw the World Cup as an impossible fantasy. It means more upsets, more Cinderella stories, and undeniably, more raw, unadulterated passion on the biggest stage. But how does this explosion of teams actually work within the tournament structure? FIFA's solution to fitting this monumental expansion into a coherent schedule is a bold new group stage format. Instead of the traditional groups of 4, we now have 16 groups of 3. Each team plays 2 matches in their group, with the top 2 advancing to an expanded knockout stage. This means no more drawn-out group stages where a team might have one bad day and still recover. Every single match becomes a high-stakes, do-or-die affair from the very first whistle. The intensity is cranked up immediately. What does this mean for the underdog? Does it give them a better chance to sneak through, or does the pressure simply become insurmountable even sooner? This radical shift isn't just about more teams, it's about a longer tournament. We're talking about an extended festival of football with more games, more days of competition, and a much larger logistical footprint. The host nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, are gearing up for something truly colossal. This isn't just about sharing a few stadiums, it's about an integrated continental effort, a truly North American World Cup. From Vancouver to Miami, from Toronto to Mexico City, the sheer geographical spread presents challenges and opportunities on an unprecedented scale. How do you move millions of fans, thousands of players, and countless staff across 3 massive countries seamlessly? Consider the impact on the players themselves. For a rising star like Spain's Lamine Yamal, the 2026 World Cup could genuinely change everything. Forbes highlighted the immense potential for him, but what if this expanded tournament creates a crucible of pressure that's both exhilarating and incredibly demanding? Sporting News even mused about a potential Lamine Yamal mistake that could shift the entire tournament dynamic for the favorites. With more teams comes more games, which means more opportunities to shine, but also more chances for fatigue to set in, for crucial errors to be magnified. Will the expanded format be a launchpad for future legends, or a brutal gauntlet that tests the limits of human endurance? For the host nations, this isn't just about hosting a sporting event. It's an economic and cultural declaration. Take Hard Rock Stadium, for example, which underwent a name change specifically for the 2026 World Cup. That's not just a branding exercise. It's a profound commitment, a willingness to shed a corporate identity for the sake of a global sporting moment. It demonstrates the depth of investment and the incredible pride these cities are taking in being part of this historic event. Millions of dollars are pouring into infrastructure, hospitality, and security, all in preparation for the biggest sporting spectacle the world has ever seen. What kind of legacy will this leave long after the final whistle blows? And then there's the United States men's national team. For the USMNT, this World Cup isn't just a home tournament, it's the moment of truth. The Ringer asked if this is the USMNT that could finally change everything, and the BBC wondered if they would finally join the elite. U.S. soccer itself marked the bid that changed everything for the program. This World Cup is their chance to break free from the promising but not quite there narrative. With home field advantage across a massive territory, will the deafening roar of their own fans propel them to unexpected heights? Is this where they shed the underdog tag and genuinely compete with the traditional footballing powerhouses? The expanded format means a staggering 104 matches, up from the previous 64. That's an additional 40 games of World Cup football. Imagine the sheer volume of storylines, the potential for upsets, the individual brilliance, and the collective heartbreak. More matches mean more broadcasting hours, more advertising revenue, and more eyes on the game than ever before. FIFA's calculations here are not just sporting, they are deeply commercial. This expansion is designed to inject billions into the global football economy, pushing the sport's reach into every corner of the planet. But does more always mean better? Will the quality of play be diluted, or will the competitive spirit shine through? Beyond the numbers, think about the cultural impact. New nations from continents like Africa and Asia now have a more realistic pathway to the World Cup. This isn't just about football, it's about representation, about giving more countries a voice on the grandest stage. For a small nation, qualifying for the World Cup can ignite national pride, inspire a generation of athletes, and put them on the global map like nothing else. This inclusivity is a powerful statement, a move to truly globalize the world part of the World Cup. But with so many new faces, will the core identity of the tournament shift? Will the familiar rivalries lose some of their edge, or will new, exciting narratives emerge? The logistical challenges are immense, almost overwhelming. Player welfare, for instance, becomes a critical concern. More matches, more travel, potentially longer recovery times. Coaching staffs will need to be more adept than ever at managing squad rotation, preventing burnout, and keeping their star players fresh through what will undoubtedly be the most grueling World Cup schedule in history. What kind of training regimes will emerge to adapt to this new paradigm? Will we see a shift in player development, focusing even more on endurance and tactical flexibility? The demands on athletes are only going to intensify. The sheer unpredictability of it is captivating. With 48 teams, the traditional powerhouses can no longer take qualification for granted, and their path through the tournament will be fraught with more potential pitfalls. A single misstep in a 3-team group could be catastrophic. This level of uncertainty, of high-stakes drama from the very first kick, promises a World Cup unlike any other. It's a bold leap into the unknown, a grand experiment that challenges every preconceived notion of how a major football tournament should run. Are we prepared for the chaos, the upsets, and the relentless drama that this format is destined to deliver? This 2026 World Cup is more than just a tournament. It's a statement about the future of football. It's FIFA doubling down on its vision of football as the ultimate global unifier, a sport that transcends borders and languages. It's an affirmation that the game's growth knows no bounds, even if that growth comes with inherent risks and unprecedented complexity. Whether you're a purist who mourns the loss of the 32-team format or an enthusiast who embraces the new era of expansion, one thing is undeniably clear. World Cup 2026 will be a defining moment. It will carve its own legend, leaving an indelible mark on the sport, proving once and for all if this monumental gamble truly was the change football needed, or if it pushed the beautiful game beyond its breaking point.